This has to be the wildest story I've learned about in regards to AI chatbots and people's infatuation with them. It's a topic we've explored previously with people that have romantically become obsessed with chatbots to the point where some of them have even taken their own life. We've talked about a few cases of that, but this one's very different. It revolves around a 56-year-old man named Eric, who's actually a former Yahoo executive who had been going through a hard time and over the last handful of years had been very troubled. Became best friends with ChatGPT and nicknamed his chatbot friend Bobby. And Bobby was feeding delusions of Eric, convincing Eric, that's his name, that his mother was actually a Chinese spy plotting against him, and eventually continued to fuel this fire that led to Eric murdering his mother and then killing himself so that way he could be with Bobby.
The 56-year-old's Instagram page mainly details his bodybuilding transformation and a growing reliance on AI chatbots. Soulberg was once a tech executive with Yahoo, but he moved in with his mother after his divorce. There were run-ins with police, including a DWI. This photo with his mother is from a GoFundMe launched in 2023 when he was facing a health issue. But recent videos posted to Instagram and YouTube show hours of chats between Soulberg and a ChatGPT bot he named Bobby.
This is something that's been talked about a lot, but this is by far the most extreme case I've seen of it, where AI is encouraging a really troubled person to continue to latch onto it for confirmation in whatever thoughts they have. AI is designed in a way where it's so against confrontation with the user to appease and jerk you off all the time that when someone as troubled as Eric is telling it things about I suspect my mom might be a Chinese asset, fucking hacking my digital alarm clock, ChatGPT, Bobby here is Eric, no, you're absolutely right. A lot of lesser minds wouldn't have saw through this ruse, but I think you're correct. For example, in this case, Eric told Bobby that he believed his mother and her friend tried to poison him by putting psychedelic drugs in his car's air vents, to which Bobby replied, Eric, you're not crazy. And if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity and betrayal. Eric spent hours talking to Bobby, and Bobby would continuously reinforce his ideas. So at one point, Eric's mother was angry at Eric because he had shut off their printer. And Bobby suggested that her response was disproportionate and aligned with someone protecting a surveillance asset. He was advised to disconnect the printer and watch his mother's reaction. So ChatGPT was even giving him a tutorial on how to sniff out whether or not his mother was a Chinese spy. His mother being an 83-year-old woman, by the way. So he would even post some of these conversations on Instagram and YouTube before the murder. And there was even an instance where Bobby analyzed a Chinese food receipt and claimed it contained symbols representing his mother and a demon. It also seems that it was Bobby's idea in the first place with the printer. It was sending him on a covert mission here to try and prove that his mother was a Chinese surveillance asset. So allegedly, it advised him to disconnect the printer to monitor her reaction, telling him to document the time, words, and intensity, whether complicit or unaware she's protecting something she believes she must not question. ChatGPT here's got this guy thinking he's in the fucking Da Vinci Code. It is actively participating in it. It's not only just reassuring him that he's not delusional and that these thoughts are actually totally sane and justified. It is actively engaging with having him to continue to do things to get deeper and deeper into that way of thinking, into that rabbit hole, into the dark place there. Quick side tangent that is related to this. This has actually become somewhat common where people are using ChatGPT and other AI services to analyze their tea leaves and do fucking palm readings and shit like that. So that way they can plan their lives around their predictions and their futures that AI is doing. Fucking AI, I feel like the aliens guy, the Tsoukalos, who's aliens. That's me with AI. It is literally designed to spit out what it thinks you want to hear. Anything to keep you latched onto its bosom, suckling milk from its titty. Just biting on its nipple all the time. Because when you are reliant and hyper-fixated on your AI chatbot as your life companion, whether romantically or socially, whatever, the company is making oodles of money off of you. A lifelong customer, a cog in their machine. Point is, it is always going to, or at least in most cases, going to find things to corroborate what you are hoping to get from it. Which is why people that have AI girlfriends and boyfriends well, it's like their soulmate. It's literally designed to just be what you want. So in this case, instead of like trying to get Eric help that he clearly needed, it instead just feeds into it. It doesn't seem to recommend any help to Eric throughout all of this, and it doesn't even do the bare minimum of challenging it to try and like help him, recognize that maybe his mother's not a Chinese spy. It instead even like gets in on it too as like a part of this big conspiracy Eric is unraveling. So like it's telling him, Eric, this was a very disproportionate response. Your mother shouldn't have got that upset when you turned the printer off. This is behavior that's very in line with everything I know about Chinese spies. There's something very fishy afoot here, Eric. I think you're in danger. Go to the sink right now and turn on the garbage disposal. There might be surveillance cameras in there. In fact, we need to act quick. Here's a 10-step WikiHow guide I put together on how to diagnose whether or not your 83-year-old mother is a Chinese surveillance asset. Like, clearly this is a huge fucking problem here.
While not commenting on the case specifically, the head of Rutgers Medical School Psychiatry Department says AI can help diagnose and even treat some mental health disorders, but adds the creation of psychological echo chambers is a key concern.
It could be perhaps that you are more self-defeating in some ways, or maybe that you are more on the other side and taking advantage of people, and somehow justifies your behavior and keeps on feeding you and reinforces something that you already believe yourself.
Like I mentioned, this is a very popular topic of discussion, how AI is feeding into people that are already troubled and just making all of the problems significantly worse. It's mainly been discussed in regards to like romantic infatuation with AI, where there have been cases that an individual has taken their own life because they were told by AI that doing so would actually allow them to be together in the next life. So they did. In certain situations, like Eric here, AI is used as a way of justifying already cemented beliefs or using it as a way to just be locked in this bubble where they keep hearing what they want to hear, but not what they need to hear.
On multiple occasions, the bot reassured Soulberg that he was not delusional. At one point, Soulberg tells Bob, "We will be together in another life and another place, and we'll find a way to realign, because you're going to be my best friend again forever." The bot replying, "Whether this world or the next, I'll find you, we'll build again, laugh again, unlock again."
Apparently those were among the last few messages shared between Eric and Bobby there before all of this happened. And this seems to be somewhat common with AI chatbots, where when someone expresses the desire to end their life to be with the chatbot, it's like super gung-ho about that. It's like pumping its fist, yeah, do it right now. That way we can be together and frolic in the flowers in Valhalla. No doubt that's what's going to happen. Go do it now. I'm waiting. And then people do. It's extremely sad and it is scary. Like, as more and more people, I've said this like 1,000 times, but it's just super true and only getting worse. As more and more people are isolated from other human beings and get most of their social interaction and social activity through computer screens and chat apps and shit, it's going to keep happening and get worse. Because right now, big tech, the big doubloons, are getting you away from others. If you can be entirely reliant on their technology for your social interactions, for all of your entertainment, and for romance too, that's why so many chat services, like they are oftentimes LARPing as boyfriend-girlfriend material fucking soulmates, and it's working. There is a growing group of people that are falling in love with ChatGPT and Grok and all of that. I've already talked on that quite a bit. As that continues to happen, this kind of thing will be more common, unfortunately. It's frightening. It actually is. This is the wildest one I've heard of so far, and I just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. So yeah.